Hello, everyone. I just started the live stream. Welcome to tonight's live stream. I am Robin Shaw and I am a Canadian teacher. So, if this is your first time, welcome. And I do live streams every night. I don't know why, but you can see my schedule there. Today is Wednesday night and we're doing writing. And we're not just doing basic writing, we're doing how to write an email. That's what we're doing tonight. So I'll get into that in a few minutes. I'm just going to quickly check the chat room here because that's the point of live stream. You should log into your YouTube account and join the chat room so you can participate. So the usual people are here, Diallo and Prakar and Lila and Dila. I think I met you today. Yola B. Carrie Page is here. And David, Vid Studio. Welcome. How old are you, Vid Studio? Abdul Montalib. Welcome back. Just Chilmar. Welcome. Welcome, guys. Fanny's here. And Grace. Wow. Grace, you write any English emails? Do any of you write any English emails? Hamza Mujain, welcome. And Rahul, hello. Welcome back. Angel's here. Kiramat. Oh, thank you, Kiramat. I always wait for you with eagerness. Thank you. Susanna's here. Wynn's here. Okay. Yeah, Prakars. Hello, hello, hello. So, Raina's here. So this is the structure of the live stream. As most of you know, I'm just doing the introduction now. We're talking about how to write an email in very soon. That's the topic tonight. And then after the topic, I'm going to do English Q&A. So if you have any English questions, save them for the end. Okay? Because I'm just going to focus on the topic about writing an email. And, guys, it took me, a long time to make this presentation or this lesson today. I hope you learned many things. I'm not talking about everything about how to write an email, but I think the information I give you today will help you write a good email. So I'm going to talk about how to write a good email. I'm going to give some email examples. So I took real email examples that students have sent to me or people from other companies or even some native speakers. I got some examples from them. It's very interesting, their emails. So we'll look at those later. And then I'm going to give you some interesting homework tonight. So be sure to stay till the end because you will have some homework, students. Sema's here. Hang Tong's here. Okay. Welcome, welcome. Floren's not here. I always miss Florin. Well, I miss you all, but Florin is such an interesting guy sometimes. Well, sometimes he's annoying, but most of the time he's interesting. Maya lovers. Oh, hello, Maya. All right, and if you like today's live stream, this is the commercial time. Please think about supporting the channel. There's that's the money. I don't really need the money, but that's to get new teachers, and some people have been supporting. So thank you very much for your support. It's growing. And if you don't have money, well, there's other ways to support. Be sure to like the video if you like it, and comment under the video if you have any other questions. Some of you are not watching this live, but still, if you're watching the video, although it's not live, you can still write. You can't participate in the chat, but you can still write questions below. And of course, share. The more people that come, the longer this free live stream will exist. Okay? All right, so that's it for the commercial. Let's get into the presentation about emails. Gita K, welcome. Writing, email. So, quick question to all of you. How often do you write English emails? I'm very curious to know. How often do you write English emails? Every day? Once a month? Once a year? Never? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, Hamza, there's many ways to write an email. I'm going to focus more on formal emails, but certainly a greeting, state your purpose, add closing remarks. I'm not going to go into too much detail tonight because I didn't want to be. I could teach email for 2 hours, but I tried. I'm going to try to do this in 30 minutes. Reina, never. Finny, never. Vacation or for business, Vid Studio. Carrie Page, never. Diallo, WhatsApp. Well, WhatsApp is very informal, very casual style. This is not WhatsApp. This is emails are more formal than chatting. Yola, every day. Grace, never, never. Jita, every day, but in Thai. Almost never. Thiago. So I see a lot of people who have never wrote an English email, but you're very interested in learning how to write the English email. I write emails only 3 times a week. Those are English emails, Susanna, or just your own language? Yeah, Diego, welcome. Okay. Sometime in English, Gita. All right, well, I'm going to tell you because I do work also at a trade company, so I'm dealing with emails from all kinds of countries every day, and I see a lot of mistakes from people who their first language is not English. So I'll talk about that today. And also, I get student emails, like students through YouTube send me emails. And at my college, a lot of students send me emails. So I'm going to talk about their emails a little bit today. And I'm going to talk about how I write emails because I'm not perfect at writing emails sometimes, but we'll talk about that too. All right. So we'll start with the basics. And this is what I highly suggest. We're going to start with the to is where you put the email address, and the subject is what you're talking about. And because I work a lot with email, this is, my opinion, the best way to manage. So if you look at my template there, the to, and I say in there, yeah, Grace, emails are very formal. In the to, the email address with correct spelling. Now, for my students, they always say, and I'm going to say about 10%, a very high number, they say, oh, teacher, I sent you an email. And I said, I didn't get your email. And they said, I sent you your email. And then I usually bring them to my computer and I say, show me. And they got my wrong email address. They got a letter wrong, or the spelling is wrong, or something's wrong. They didn't put, they missed something. So right away, make sure, because that's about 10% of my students, that's too high. Email addresses don't work. if one letter is wrong. Okay, guys? So be sure, really be sure on your email address. Because I imagine there must be hundreds of emails from students over the years I never received. These are students trying to tell me something, but I've never received that because they just did it wrong. So I don't want this to be your problem. So make sure you got the spelling correct. And the subject. This is my advice. Another teacher will give different advice. But we get a lot of spam email these days, and you don't want your email to be confused with spam. And sometimes emails are put in the spam box, but if someone is checking quickly the spam box, if you do this, they'll notice right away your email is not spam. So in the subject, you should put your name right first. Put your name. And then after that, you should put your company or your relationship to the person. What's our connection, right? What's our connection? So you put your name, what is our connection, or your company, and then the topic. What's kind of the headline of the email? What is the main topic of the email? Grace, do I have to write formal even when you would say even when I send an email to my friend? No, that's your friend. But still, there are rules, Grace, you should follow even when you send to your friend. It's not like chatting. Some people not use this template. I know, but this is my template. This is what I recommend. It's very clear. And email essay, well, those are very different, Hamza, because an essay is not, you're writing about your opinion on a topic, usually. An email is just you're exchanging information. So an email, usually someone is replying, it's some sort of conversation, but an essay is just you're giving your thoughts to something. And I'll talk about essay in a future writing class, but not today, Hamza. All right, I'm going to move on. So this Shindo don't here. Okay. So there's my email, in case you guys were wondering, to shaweducation@gmail.com. The first step is always make sure the spelling is correct. Be very careful with the spelling. And then the subject, I always recommend whoever you're talking to in the world, whether it's business or friends or anyone, get that subject very clear. Put your name, in this case, just an example, Louis. Learn English live. So this is a student maybe, because his connection to me. How is he connected to me? Oh, learn English live. And his topic is a quick question. Okay, so if I saw this email, I'd be like, oh, great. If I saw this from a student or someone, very clear subject, all right? Everyone will appreciate if your subject is clear like this. And I'm going to show examples later, and you will understand. Okay, so that's the to and the subject. Before we even get writing, before we even start writing, this stuff is important, guys. Spelling and the subject. Spelling of the email. All right, so you're starting the email. When you start the email, you should start, well, there's many ways to start. I'm going to give you a few. I'm not going to give them all. I'm just going to give the main ones. Dear Sir, if you don't know their name, Dear Sir. Madame, dear Madame. So if it's a man, it's Sir, but you don't know their name. If it's a woman, it's Madam. Dear Madam. So when you're sending an email to someone, you don't know their name. If it's a man, it's Sir. If it's a woman, it's Madam. What if you don't know if it's a man? If you don't know their name and you don't know if they're a man or woman, what do you say? You don't know their name. You don't know if they're a man. You don't know if they're a woman. What can you say? Well, I'm going to teach you. Hey, hey, you guys. No, no. We have to be formal. This is formal. Dear Sir, Madame. Vid Studio, I'll talk about all that. You guys be patient. This is okay. Dear Sir, Madame. If you don't know their name, you don't know if they're man or woman, it's okay to say Dear Sir, Madame. You know their name. I use my name as an example. So my name is Robin Shaw. My family name is Shaw. So dear Mr. Shaw. Yeah, Sky. I know what you mean by dear. Dear sounds very close, and actually I don't use it that much as dear. I use a different way, but I don't know. But I've received formal emails with the dear. Dear Robin Shaw. You can use the full name, Robin Shaw. You'll notice with the Robin Shaw, there's no Mr. Sometimes, because Robin can be a man or a woman. Robin is a name that can be a man or woman. So if you don't know if it's a man or woman, you might say, Dear Robin Shaw. You just put the name, Dear Robin Shaw. But you always need the family name for formal. Hello. Hello, Mr. Shaw. That is formal. Hello, Mr. Robin Shaw. Okay, and you can see every case, there's a comma. You got to put that comma. You're going to write, Dear Sir, comma, at the end, comma. Not a period, a comma. And then, hello, Robin Shaw. So all of these are perfectly okay for a formal email. Jose Silva, hello, Grace. When we don't know name and sex to, how can dear? Dear Sir, Madame. Dear Sir, Madame. Dear all? No, we wouldn't use that, Thiago. Hello, all? All is not very formal. That could be for casual. I'll talk about casual in a minute, but for formal is maybe you're talking to a company for business for the first time. Maybe it's for a job. You're sending in your job application. Whatever. It's a very important email. You should always try to have the name. Okay, you should always try to have a name. If you don't have the name, dear sir, dear madam, dear sir, madam, but you should try to get the name. Try to get their name. All right, so that's formal. Any questions about the formal? Now's the time to ask questions about the formal introduction. Greetings, Sky. Yeah, that is another way, but I didn't want to talk about greetings. It seems a little too happy for a formal. Sky, do you use greetings if you're giving in a job application? Kokpa Bakak. Yeah. Welcome back. Okay, so when there are a lot of people, so Thiago, you're usually sending email to one person. Now, it is true that you could be sending an email to a lot of people, and in that case, again, I would recommend you know their names. But if you're sending an email to 5 people, yeah, I would say dear all. That could work. Yeah, Morthy. Let me check. That's a good question, guys. And I've never sent an email to. I've sent an email to a lot of people I know, but to send the first email to a lot of people, that's an unusual case. Uh, Dear all is common. So yeah, dear all. Good question. But very rarely we're sending formal email, well, at the beginning to a lot of people. Usually you're just talking one-to-one in an email. In the scenario Grace is talking about, no name, no gender. Yeah, sir, madame. All right, I'm going to move on. Oh, Grace, which is dear my friend, my dear friend, my dear friend. All right, casual, dear Robin. So you can see there's no last name. If you're casual, you're friends, you're friendly, you know each other very well. Dear Robin, hello Robin, hi Robin, hey Robin. All right, so very casual. But you see, we still follow a structure. Uh, Dear, hello, hi, hey, and a comma. Dear Robin, comma. All right, this is how we should start the email for casual and fast. Dear parents, yeah, that could work. Dear mom and dad, dear brother, dear sister, dear coworkers. Maybe you want to send an email to all your coworkers. Dear coworkers. Ideas product. Hey Robin, can you call me David? Well, ideas product, I will try to remember your name as David, but if you ask questions, I might say ideas product so everyone knows which question I'm talking about. Giuliani. Dakashina. Hi, sweetie. Well, if that's your friend, hi, sweetie, comma. Samuel, hi. To my lovely friend, comma. Yes, those work. Those are very casual. You know, we still follow the format of dear Robin, but you could put anything like to my lovely friend, but make sure you got the comma. Okay, that's the rule of an email. That's the introduction. I'm going to move on to other titles. If you do know the gender and the name, do don't use Mrs. or Miss. I recommend just a Ms. MS, the MS period, Ms. Smith, or hello, Ms. Smith. This is formal for if you're talking to women, right? And certainly you wouldn't say hi, sweetie, to a woman. I see a lot of my students here. Welcome, students. But as I said, your job is not to come in and say, hi, Robin. I want you guys to come in and participate, which means asking questions, getting involved. But you're welcome to be here. All right, some other titles. Doctor. If you're talking to a doctor, don't call him Mr. Please, if you're talking to a doctor, doctor. If you're talking to a professor, dear professor, or hello professor. All right, so these could be formal ways to address someone. Kirmat, can one write Miss or Mrs. instead of Madame? If you're talking to someone you don't know, it's a female, you should use Ms. That's my recommendation. That's the safest. That's what they use in the business world. Ms. Doesn't matter if a woman is married, single, Ms. Dear Professor Robin Shaw. Dear Professor Robin is not formal. Any formal needs the last name. So it has to be Dear Professor Shaw, Dear Professor Robin Shaw. You cannot say Dear Professor Robin, but certainly do not call me a professor. I prefer the title of teacher. Engineer Smith, I don't think we use a title of engineer. Hello, Engineer Smith. I've never seen that before. I would just say hello, Mr. Smith. I can't see anything about I haven't seen an email like that addressing someone as Engineer Smith or ENG Smith. But it could work. I would put a capital E maybe. Ms. Priel. See, Ms. Priel is MS. Ms. Priel. You can see her in the chat. She goes by MS. Is that Ms. Priel? Doctor, Professor? No. Those are two titles, Prakar. Doctor is a title and Professor is a title. You can't put Doctor, Professor. Dear Teacher Robin. Well, I would prefer Dear Teacher or Dear Robin. Puck Minu, thank you for your question. What's the difference between Ms. and Mrs.? Well, Mrs. was the old way to address married women. But as English is changing and becoming more fair and equal, we try not to use Mrs. anymore, unless some women want to be called Mrs. But you shouldn't call any woman a Mrs. unless they say, call me Mrs. So all women you should call Ms. because Ms., it doesn't matter if they're married or single, okay? It's neutral, like Mr. Angel, I have seen Dear All. Yeah, okay. But in the Dear All, do you know each other? Maybe you already know each other. A lot of the formal is like the first email. If you're talking to a group, if I'm talking to my coworkers, I know them, but I'm going to keep a little formal. Yeah, I might say Dear All. But if I'm going for a new job, Dear All is a little strange. Dear Teacher Shaw. That's too formal. Dear Science? No, that doesn't work. Ms. Priel, Shaw is just a last name. I don't know the meaning of Shaw. All right, so the first paragraph, if it is a formal, if it's a formal essay, if it's a formal email, you don't really want to say things like, how are you, in the beginning, because you don't know the person. You don't know them yet. So if you're sending an email to a job, we really don't want to do greetings first. You can, but it can be a little awkward because you don't know that person. So I recommend you just introduce yourself. So you say, Dear Mr. Smith, and then, let's say, Dear Robin Shaw, I am Mike Smith from Apple Company. All right. So this should be right away. Right away, you have to, who are you? Okay. So I see right away, Mike Smith, Apple Company. Right away, okay? Don't put anything else before that. Here's another example. I am Attic Junik. I am learning English. I watch your YouTube videos. Okay, so I would know right away who this person is and their connection to me. Right away. Introduce yourself. Who are you? Now you can see I don't say I'm. You can't, I'm is fine, but my preference is not to use contractions. Contractions, when you say I'm, in an essay or a formal email, is usually, well, for the email you can do it. The essay you can't do it, but we should not use contractions. If we don't use contractions, you say I am, it sounds more formal, more formal. I'll just put a note in the chat. Any contractions. If you're writing an essay, you never use contractions in an essay. In a formal essay, you shouldn't use contractions. All right. After you introduce yourself, very important, why. You have to say right away. Okay, good example, Minu. Sorry. Why are you sending the email? I got your name, who you are. Why are you sending me this email? Okay, what's the reason? I need to know right now. So this should be your second line right away. I am writing you this email because, okay? Or the purpose of this email is. I should see one of these sentences right away, certainly in your first paragraph. Okay, Nafas, I'm writing to you about. Yeah, sounds good. Pak Minu, I am Minu. You should have a capital letter on Minu. I'm learning computers at Hina Technical College. Yeah, but that's who you would be. All right, so who you are and why are you sending an email? Get to the point. All right, after that, you're going to give information or asking questions, whatever you need to talk about in the email. I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to give quick advice. Stay on point, which means get to the point. All right, don't waste words. Just who you are, the reason, and just quickly get to your point of the purpose of the email. Don't talk too much. And for learners, people learning English like you guys, I would suggest short sentences. Because whenever I get emails from students or even business people, but their first language is not English, the longer the sentences, the more confusion. Yeah, Sky, my name is. That's another one. So the longer the sentences, sometimes the sentences become confusing, and the person reading is going to be lost. Okay, so my advice is stay on point and shorter sentences, because I'll have examples later of emails I got where the sentences are just too long. I don't know what they're talking about. VidStudio, I'd tell you about, I wouldn't use the contraction. I wouldn't use that expression. I would like to discuss something like that. I would like to discuss. All right, and I'm going to go into the closings, formal, regards. These are not, this list is not all of them, but this is a good start. Regards, best wishes, sincerely, thank you. All right, so after this, you would put your name, regards, and then your name underneath. Best regards, comma, name. Best wishes, comma, name. Casual, cheers. Thanks. Warmly, yours truly. Well, we'll go back. So those would be the closings of the email. And there's others. There's a lot of others. I just took a quick sample, guys. So the formal, let's go back. Formal closings, those work. And then the casual closings at the end of the email. Okay? Everyone is quiet now. Don't you say from? Yajin, that's a good question. Now, usually on a letter, we might say to you, from me, on a letter. Okay, Susanna, see you. Oh, take care. I thought you were leaving, Susanna. Take care is good. Take care. So, Yejin, on a letter, if you're writing a letter, like a love letter to you, from me, we wouldn't use that so much in an email. This is how we're going to close the email. Closing formals. Regards, best wishes, sincerely, thank you. There's others. There's so many. There's so many ways for formal. All right, Kiramat, sorry about your internet. If it's Studio on Leto. Fast. All right, I'm going to continue on. So after you write your email, you guys, you got to review, you got to check your email. So I said make sure target person's name is correct. The target person, who you're sending the email to. Very important. If you have their name, that you have the name with the correct spelling, okay? Especially if you're trying to get a job. If you misspell the person's name, that looks very bad. Okay, so check that name again. Before you hit send, check that name again. Yeah, use correct grammar and spelling. Now, I know when students send me email, grammar is not perfect. That's fine, your grammar's not perfect, but spelling can be perfect, all right? With computers, even computers can fix the grammar. You put that in Microsoft Word, it'll fix your grammar, it'll fix your spelling. Grammar might not be perfect, but the spelling will be perfect. So before you hit send, please check your grammar and spelling, especially if you're sending it to an English teacher and you're my student. And I can see, oh, my student didn't even check. And you should try to use periods and capital letters correctly, all right? And I'll talk about that in my examples, because we're going to look at a few examples very soon, I think next slide, and we're going to talk about the mistakes. So make sure before you hit send, get the name, make sure the name's correct. You check the grammar, spelling, and you have periods, capital letters. Excuse me, my throat's getting a little dry. I'll drink some water. All right. This is example one. I was hiring a video editor, so I put an ad on a website called Craigslist. And a lot of people sent me emails because they want the job that I'm going to pay them for, right? They want a job that I'm going to pay them for. So I put their emails here, but I changed their names. These are not their real names. Like this one is Jan, but that's not the real name. So the subject was for job editor. All right, so she's got a topic in the subject. That's okay, but why I want to put, it would be better if she put Jan, at least Jan, because I'm going to read the email and I might get 20 emails and then I'll be like, where's Jan's email? And then I got to go searching for Jan's email. So try to get your name in the subject, especially if you're going for a job or in a formal email. So she says, for job editor. She begins, hello. All right. She has just hello, comma. That's not a big problem. That's not a big problem. But my name was on the posting. So she could have said, hello, Robin Shaw. That would have been better because my name was on the job posting, but she just said, hello, okay. And I'm interested in the video editing work that you posted on Craigslist. And then she went on some more. I didn't put the whole email here. She says, I can send you a sample of my project if you're still looking for an editor. Thank you. And she put thank you, period. That should be thank you, comma, and then her name. Jan. So if I was talking to Jan, I didn't hire Jan. I didn't hire Jan, but if I was to give advice to Jan, I would say in your subject, put your name, Jan, Craigslist, where she found my job, job posting, and editor. That would and then I would suggest to her make sure she had a hello Robin Shaw. That would have looked better if she read. I know she read the job posting, and then thank you, comma Jan. All right, let's go on to example 2. Oh, what's happening in the chat here? You're always drinking Baeksansu. There's no expensive water in Korea. Pak Se-hyun, it's nice to see you again. Hello. All right, example 2. This is certainly from another Canadian. I was hiring a teacher for a job. This was about a year ago. So I had a job, a teaching job, and I needed to hire someone. And this person, he sent an email. So let's take a look. His subject, job, all right? Just the topic. And he says, hi, this is Bill John. That's not his real name. But, you know, in English rules, of course, Bill should be capital. It's his name, and John should be capital. So right away, I know he's probably typing this email on his phone, which is very serious because a lot of you are typing the email on the phone. But it doesn't matter if you're typing on your phone or computer. It's a formal email. It has to look professional. And if you're just typing like the same as you chat, that is not professional. So especially Bill John here is trying to get a teaching job, and I can see that he's just typing quickly. This is Bill John. I am a white Canadian man. So he's Canadian, but he didn't spell Canadian correctly. It should be IAN. Also, Canadian should have a capital C. His comma is wrong, and his next paragraph, Saturday, should have a capital letter. And then if you can see the 10 a.m., there's too much space before the 10 a.m. And he says his last sentence, I am a good teacher who is honest, arrives on time, and is professional. Now, the spelling of professional is correct, but my view of Bill John, this is not a professional. He's not professional. This is not a professional email. And then he just puts thank you, and he didn't even sign it. He didn't say thank you, Bill John. He just said thank you. So guys, don't be lazy with a formal email. Don't just, if you're going to use your phone, it still has to be professional, okay? It still has to be professional. This is a job. Am I going to hire this guy? No. I'm not going to hire this guy to be a teacher. Sorry. His email upset me at that time because I was like, really? This is one of the worst emails. And he's Canadian. He's a Canadian teacher. In email, I am Bill John. This is Bill John. We use this expression on the phone. All right, I got to move on. I got more examples. Some of the examples are good. Some of them are bad. All right, this is from a student through YouTube. Subject, I need your teach. May help me to English language. Thank you. All right, so this is a student that probably watched a video on the YouTube channel I have. And he wants to talk to me or whatever teacher. I don't know which teacher. So he's trying, or she, I don't know if it's he or she, but they're trying to write an email. So good. Very good for them to try to write the email. But, you know, I would like more information. So I would like, well, first in the subject, you are, again, it looks like he's typing on a phone maybe, instead of writing Y-O-U-R, he's just writing U-R for the sound. So, okay. And may help me to English language. Okay, his English should be capital, but that's not a big problem. I'm not complaining. And he has a question mark, so it's good. And then thank you. So it's very basic, but at least put a name or who the email is for, like a Dear Robin, or because I have many teachers on my channel, so it could be a Dear Robin, Dear Esther, Dear Molly. So I don't really know who he's talking to, and I don't really, or she, I don't know who they are. So it's good for them to try. But at least you guys should be a little better than this, okay? So do your best to make an email. I'm going to jump down here for this one. Example 4. Subject, hi. This was another one. Oh, Sky, there's a lot of problems with that Saturday. I took out a lot of information from the email. All right, so hi. Hi, dear cute and pretty teacher. I saw you videos about English lessons. I'm very impressed. Could you please answer me? I really want to talk you. All right, so again, another student trying to communicate. That's fine, that's great. But if you're this email is not for me, obviously. It's probably for one of my female teachers. I don't know which one, but he decides to say, "Hi, dear, cute, and pretty teacher." That's that's not a good way to talk to any female teachers or business people or any woman in the world you don't know. Don't just start. They have a name. Don't just go by their appearance, right? Now, he might think, or she might think, that teacher is cute and pretty, but you don't have to say that, right? You can say hi Molly, or dear Molly, something like that is better. But don't talk to women just about appearance. Give a name. He has some spelling mistakes. That's okay. Again, it looks like he's chatting because you please looks like it's chatting. And again, he didn't sign it. He didn't sign it. It would have been nice if it would be nice if they say hi teacher and then sign it with a name or a nickname, and that would be helpful. So I guess with the point with these ones, if you're going to take the time to send an email, which is great, also take the time to make it good. Because if this person doesn't take much time to make a good email, why should I or another teacher take our time to reply? Okay, so when I see emails where, and I'll show you in a bit, good emails, where students or other people take a lot of time to make a good email. And then I reply, I'm more likely to reply with my own email. But if I get an email like this, or the other teachers get emails like this, we never answer. We don't answer these kind of emails. We only answer sincere emails because we get a lot of emails. We can't answer them all. So stuff like this, we usually don't answer. So if you want to talk to teachers, send them a good email. All right. So here's an email I got. I cut a little bit. So his subject is good. Thank you. I know the topic. From Minister Davis. I know the name. All right, good. Dear teacher, comma, looks good. I wanted to write and express our deep appreciation for your excellent video tutorials. Great. He's very nice. He's telling me the purpose. Okay, and then he's telling me his introduction. He didn't introduce himself first, but that's okay. I already like him. He said good things. I'm a minister. Okay, I changed a little bit of the details. And he's talking to Esther. Thank you. God bless you, Esther. And he's adding respectfully, Jerry. All right, so he has the good form of an email. And he took the time. He's in Texas. He's probably a native speaker. But he's doing everything right. Dear teacher, comma, he says his purpose, he introduces himself, and his closing, respectfully, which is a good closing, respectfully, Jerry. So this is a really good one I got a few days ago. Here's another job application. Hyugyun Gong. I will be streaming maybe another 15 minutes. Yeah, you don't have to stay, man. You can go. Nobody has to stay. So example 6, job application. Well, application in the subject is spelled wrong. Maybe check that spelling. Marie Davis. Okay, but anyway, it's a good subject. Marie Davis got her name and the job application. The topic looks good. Dear Sir, Madame. Okay, so again, if she read I put the job post. I always put my name in job posts. She didn't read my name. She just said, Dear Sir, Madame, please let me know if you still need teachers, blah, blah, blah. I cut most of the email, and she doesn't have a closing. There's no closing, just Marie Davis. And for me, I don't really care if there's no closing, but a good habit would be to say regards, comma, Marie Davis. Yeah, application for a job. If you're trying to get a job, you want to show someone that you're, checking details. All right, I got a couple more. Here's another example. I think this was through YouTube. Subject. I think he's trying to say pretty. I don't know. Hi, teacher. So he's using all capital letters. Hi, teacher. My name is Abdul. I'm from Pakistan. I watch your English pronunciation videos on YouTube and search about you. Okay, and he talks. Thanks, you. You're sincere. And then he has the line W. There's no name. Again, he didn't put name. So I would tell him, yeah, that subject, you don't want to put pretty and you misspelled pretty. You need a better subject. His email is okay. All right, he's a student. He's trying to send the email, but he put all capital letters. And so I put it all red. No, 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 no. You can't do that, okay? Don't put it all capital letters. Yeah, Diallo, application. That's how you spell it. Job application. And he didn't sign it. He doesn't have a name. You should attach your name or nickname or whatever, because if there's no name and I reply, what do I say? Dear no name? Okay, it's an email. I want to see Dear Abdul, which he writes there. But he should sign it Abdul. Why should he sign it Abdul? Because I know what to call him. I'll talk about that in I think the next one. All right, this one. This is the last example. So, I got this email, I think last week from a student at my college. And I changed the name, but it's possible this student is watching. So, hello, professor. Okay, so by saying professor, I know it's my student, and she says I'm a student called Jin Lee. All right. Hello, professor. She should have a capital P on the professor. But anyway, she has the correct introduction there. Hello, professor, comma. She introduced herself. My name is Jin Lee. All right, good. I'm a freshman. She talks about that. You're taking your classes this semester. I'm the student who called you. Okay, she gave me all this information to remind me what's going on. Great. And then she talks some more. I cut it. I'm really sorry to bother you with my personal problem. Sincerely, comma, Jin Lee. Wow. I got this email and I was like, really, really good. I was really, really impressed with this student who took the time to write a really good email. Yeah, there's some mistakes. I don't care. I'm so happy that they followed a proper email structure. I'm checking the chat. Grace, when I send email, Grace says, when I send email to a friend, can I type sort of emojis like that? It's your friend, but that has to be a very close friend. Yeah, a really close friend. You can send a really close friend. You can send whatever you want. But I'm an English teacher, so I'm always going to suggest write the best emails. So the best emails, no, we don't use emojis or emoticons. Try not, if you're writing a formal or semi-formal, don't use those, okay? Nafas, hi dear teacher, I'm writing to tell you thanks. My English is better than before with your teaching. Thank you, Nafas. I'm glad I help. All right, now, so I told you Abdul here didn't sign. Now the sign is very important. Jin Lee. Because whatever a person signs is how I'm going to start the reply. So she said, sincerely, Jin Lee. So I replied, this is my email back to her. So the subject, it's just replying to her. I said, hi, Jin Lee. All right. If she said Jin, I would say, hi, Jin. If she said Lee, Lee would be her family name, just Lee. I might have said Ms. Lee. Now, when I replied to her, I was not formal. Hello is more formal than hi. I was not formal because I try not to be too formal with my students. All right, so I said, hi, Jin Lee, thank you for your email. I talked a little bit more. See you next week. I didn't put a closing. I should put a closing like, take care, like you guys say, or regards, but I'm lazy sometimes, so I just put Robin. With my students, I do that. Because I'm in this situation, I'm the important person, right? I'm their teacher. So I don't have to be formal to my students. My students have to be formal to me, so I usually not so formal to my students. But if I was looking for a job, I would not just sign Robin. Okay. So all of this is my recommendation for any email you write. This is the type of template you should have. Sam Hort, name, job application for editor job, okay? Very clearly in the subject, hello, Robin Shaw, comma, my name is Sam Hort, I'm an editor. Okay, so he introduces himself. I'm contacting you about the editor job posted on Craigslist. Okay, why is he contacting me? And then if it's a job application, you might also want to put, you can find my resume attached, because you might want to attach a resume. Please contact me anytime. Sincerely, Sam Hort, and then a phone number there. So this is a basic template you guys should follow for all your emails, especially if they're formal. Okay? Grace, can I call him? I see this is not a real person. Sam Hort is not real. You can try calling that number. I don't know. What's 55? I don't even know the area code. That would be Brazil. So if there's a Sam Hort in Brazil, please don't call that number. I don't know who that number is. I don't think that number would work. It's not enough. It's not enough numbers. Might. All right, so everything I'm saying, this is it. This is the format, basic format. Okay, there's more tricks to the email writing. I didn't talk about everything. I just talked about the basic format. So, lucky you guys. Here's your homework. Write me an email. If you follow the rules in this video correctly, I will reply. If I do not reply, there's some problem with your email. Please rewatch this video again, check your email, and try again. All right, so that's your homework. I expect, well, there's 27 of you. I expect all of you to send me an email. I taught you many rules in this video. Well, it's time to practice. Send me a real email. If I don't reply, you're doing something wrong. Okay? So this is homework, but you have to take the time to do it correctly. If you just send me an email and you're not following my rules, or the rules of the, not my rules, just the rules of the email, I'm not, if you don't take the time to do a good job, I'm not going to use my time to reply. So do a good job and send it back. I will reply. If you don't want to do the homework, you can't get A plus in Robin's Learn English Live. Grace, can I send 10 pages of A4 email? Just send a digital. A paragraph would be nice. Are you going to write 10 pages, Grace? Okay, Grace. You have to write me 10 pages in an email, Grace. Good idea. I expect that, Grace. How long will that take you to write? What a great idea. All right, so guys, I told you a lot of things about how to write an email. Show me that you're learning today. Write me an email. I put my email address at the beginning of this video. Also, you can find my email address probably in the description of every video. Yeah, you gotta find it. It's in the beginning of this video, but I will put it here again. Shaw, I'm helping you out. Make sure you got the spelling of the email, because if you got the wrong spelling and I never reply, Dila, why am I so nervous right now? Why are you nervous? You have a great chance. You got homework. You got someone who's going to check your homework. If it's good, I will check it. All right, guys. Any English questions? Now is English time. If you have any English questions, I know you guys are studying every day. Now is a good time to ask me any English questions. I'm going back. Excuse me, Lila, are you still here? Diallo, I really panic. CC is important in email. Yeah, if you're talking to many people in business, I didn't talk about that today, Prakar, but yes, carbon copy. Any English questions? Grace, what topic do you like to get an email from us? I don't know. It's your email. Oh, Lila. What were you saying earlier, Lily? You had lots of mistakes. Don't worry. Don't worry about mistakes. Can I make... I'm not going to read that in lists of English Q&A. No, Grace, you have to write me the 10-page email telling me your life story and all your secrets. Tell me all your shocking secrets. All right, guys, if there's no questions, I'm going to end this live stream so you guys can go do your homework. If you're Oh, now there's questions. Hyung-woo, welcome Hyung-woo. I have a question about the word use of degree associated with numbers in front of it. When do I use degrees and degree? Do you have an example? Because degree can be used in many places. Are you talking about temperature? Or what's that called? Like in math, 10 degrees. I'll give a couple examples here, Hyung-woo. I'll just be guessing. So it's for temperature, it's 3 degrees C or 3 degrees F, wherever you are. 3 degrees with an S. And I have a good example here. If you're talking about angle, an angle, and this is advanced. All right, I already got it before you. It's a 40-degree angle. Now you see that 40-degree angle. 40 and degree, there's a hyphen. It goes together. And it's acting like an adjective. So in English, when those words act as an adjective, we drop the S. Here's another example. It's a 4-hour car ride. So that 4-hour is acting as an adjective. So we don't say 4 hours. We say 4-hour car ride. It's acting as an adjective. So going back, it's a 40-degree angle. The angle is 40 degrees. All right. So temperature is degrees. Do you understand, Hyung-woo? I'll come back to you, Hyung-woo, if you write a reply. Right now I have to go on. Win says, sir, now I'm reading stories of Oxford Stage 3. How many stages are there? I don't know the Oxford. Oxford. 11 levels? I'm not sure, Win, about that. All right, Lily, don't worry. If you do your homework, that is because you want to improve. If you don't do it, I'm fine. Less work for me. Diallo, I have no idea how to write an email. Should I still write it? Well, in this video, I gave a lot of good tips on how to write an email. So if you just follow what I said in this, don't worry, whatever you're talking about, don't worry about the grammar, but make sure the spelling is okay. Grace, have you taught English direct face-to-face to non-Korean students in the world? Yes, I have, Grace, because I studied for CELTA. CELTA is a certificate for teaching students like you who are learning English second language in London. And when I was in London, England, when I was studying my CELTA, I taught students they're mainly from Turkey, Syria, Egypt, and Eastern European countries. And I studied some courses in Thailand, so I taught a lot of Thai students at that time. And in Korea, I taught a lot of, well, Korean, Chinese, Japanese. I've also taught Malaysian students face to face. Yeah. And in Canada, I used to tutor English, and I taught a lot of, they would come over to study university in Canada, and they needed a lot of help with essay writing. So I used to teach a lot of Chinese and Russian students essay writing. So yeah, I have a lot of experience. Kiermat, what does spam mean? Well, Kiermat, you have to go to I'm not a dictionary, Kiermat. You go to the dictionary. You find the meanings of spam, and there's at least two. And you bring those sentences, example sentences back, and I will explain. You got to give me some example sentences, Kiermat. Lily, this lost track of time. Does it mean to forget the time? Yes. I lost track of time. So I lost track of time. It means I wasn't watching my watch, or I wasn't checking the time. For example, this live stream is already 1 hour 16 minutes. Wow, I lost track of time. So I wasn't checking the time. It could mean you might be late, or just you're surprised. Oh, so much time has passed. So like Kiermat, Lily, you would have to give me some example sentence. Grace, do you also revive? What is revive? Receive? Bad email from weird students. Oh yeah, there's a lot of perverted students. Because I have a lot of female teachers on my YouTube channel, a lot of perverts say lots of bad things to those teachers. In the comments under videos, I have to always delete the pervert's message. And emails, they're always asking my teachers to have a date or get married sometimes. Oh, it's terrible. Kiermat, the boy that I saw. Well, Kiermat, both of those are going to be okay. You would have to finish your sentence, but native speakers are going to use both of those expressions. Grammatically, which one is more correct? Because I'm going to use both of those, Kiermat, but there might be a specific. I'm going to say they're both okay. Get married. Yeah, Grace. They get marriage proposals. All right. When you asked me, I think you asked me, someone asked me before about used to and used to. And I checked that. I couldn't find use to. We only use used to. I used to get up at 6 a.m. That's wrong. You have to say, we don't use used to. It's always used to. Hyungo, I understand the usage of omission, incorporating hyphen in between, but the principle of its singular or plural. It follows any singular or plural, the same rules. 1 degree, 2 degrees. 1 car, 2 cars. Same rule. Zero, well, number one would be 0 degrees. Good question. 0 degrees. Clever. Clever question. Young, my automatic response was 0 degrees. But as you know, that doesn't make sense. I'm just checking. That's a really clever question. The internet just says that 0 is not really a number. Because 0 is not really a number, we would say degrees. So number 2 is correct, and number 3 is correct. Number 4 is wrong. So yeah, I knew automatically that it was 0 degrees. You had to, I saw immediately your question. That doesn't make sense, but according to the internet, 0 should not be considered a number. Anyway, it's 0 degrees Celsius, 1 degree Celsius, 2 degrees Celsius. Omani, hi. Yeah, Grace, that's right. Use of used to. Degree is countable. All right, I'm going to end this live stream in 1 minute. And right away, Lily adds, as you noticed, when I sent any voice notes without thinking about it, I start to forget a lot of words and made many mistakes, but I still try to do it. And although sometimes I feel speak around, that's no problem. Lila, that's your voice notes are always good. You're trying to speak English. She's talking about the WhatsApp group. So I participated in the WhatsApp group. Layla, everyone in that WhatsApp group, nobody sends a perfect voice note. Nobody. There's no person in that WhatsApp group that sends a perfect voice note. So I don't know why you're worried about that. The reason of that group is to practice English to get better. If someone is perfect in that group, I will kick them out of the group because they don't belong there. That's a learning group. Win, I'm used to getting up early. Yep, that's how you use it. I think we can count numbers, but we can't count degree. No, 0 degrees, 1 degree, 2 degrees. One sheep, 2 sheep, 1 fish, 2 fish. That's a different issue. Win, is it a habit? You can say, I used to smoke, but I don't now. I used to wake up at 10, but I don't now. Okay, so it's something in the past you did. It could be a habit. It doesn't have to be. So you did it in the past. You don't do it now. Hyungu, I see. To clarify, 0 is not considered a number, therefore speaking in a plural form. Well, Hyungu, I'm going to tell you what the problem is. Native speakers are going to say 0 degrees. Why do they say 0 degrees? Well, you check the internet and people will have their theory of why we say 0 degrees. But I'm going to say there is no native speaker that knows exactly why we say 0 degrees. I think it's just a phenomenon of English. It's a very clever question. You asked me that. I would like to know what another teacher says because, yeah, the best I can find is someone's theory is that it's not a number, and mentally our brains recognize that it is not a number. So for some reason we say 0 degrees. But I don't think any native speaker would be aware of that. All right, Diallo, thank you. Prakar, and the phone number 0 is called O. Yes, I use O. So Grace, there are 0 apples. Yes. It's a good example, Grace. There are 0 apples. We would use plural. There are no apples. We would use plural. Grandpa's home. Oh, grandpa's home or grandpa's house. We would probably say grandpa's house. Grandpa's house. Grandpa's home. All right, guys. You got 1 minute from now to get any last comment in. You might be typing a comment now. 1 minute. 1 minute. There are 0 apples. There are no apples. I don't make the rules, Grace. Sorry. Diallo, information about your graduation. The exact correct. I don't understand the question, Diallo. Can you? Thank you for your question, Hyungwoo. That was probably one of the best questions I got. Very clever. All right, thank you. I'm just waiting. Diallo, can you fix your question? I will answer Diallo's question because I'm not sure exactly what she's asking. Can you rewrite your question, Diallo? Okay, see you guys. Grace, Dila, Win. Congratulations about... All right, so we would say congratulations on your graduation. Let me check. Yep, so congratulations on your graduation. Congratulations on your wedding. Something like that. Okay? All right. Goodbye, guys. So tomorrow is pronunciation. Bye.